again. Uh, this is a first go for me. I'm not really sure how I'm doing this. I don't even know if my mic's working right now. I think it is. I think it is. I'll have to test this a little bit later, but we'll see. We'll see. Nobody is in here quite yet, but that's okay. We will probably get started here in just a second. Let me set you up a little bit. Planning on doing it the horizontal way, but apparently I didn't set right settings for that. So I don't, like I said, I don't really know what I'm doing. Yeah, and that's okay. That's okay. We'll figure it out. I got to figure out where do I want this. Oh, right there looks good. You got KG right there. Little black curtain. It'll be nice. Okay, just gonna pull up some stats ahead of here while we're waiting. Hopefully some people join. I can read you some stats. We can talk about what just happened between the Clippers and the Denver Nuggets. That was an insane game that just wrapped up. So let me pull up everything. Dang, what a game, man. What a game. Okay, and as we wait, big NIT news. It's over. It's wrapped up. Sorry. Uh, Seton Hall wins it, beats Indiana State. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, darn it, man. He got far. He got far, got all the way to the NIT finals, but it wasn't quite enough to wrap it up and get the chip or the trophy or whatever they do. I've never actually watched a single NIT game, let alone a championship. Um, we got some good basketball to talk about in the NBA here, though. So again, hopefully people start joining here soon. I don't really necessarily count on it as we are new. This is not something we do too much around here, so it is what it is. But and I don't even know if I'm setting this up right. I think I'm gonna try a different setup next time, where it's not just this vertical formation, but instead I have it going through OBS, and then I can see the chat and a lot better. Um, Once I get a chat, that would be nice as well. So I don't know. I don't know. Just kind of winging it today, and that's okay. I'm here for it. I just need another spot to talk some basketball, right? And that's what we do here at the Rice T18 channel. So if you new, we appreciate it. Chiefs, what is up, dude? I appreciate you joining in. Yo, what is good? How are you tonight? Appreciate the love. Appreciate the love. I was just saying, just pulling up all the stats, all the NBA games that happened tonight. They were good ones. There's a lot to talk about here, so just pulling up some more stats here. Hopefully, getting some more people to join. But Chiefs, I appreciate you. Hey, I'm glad to hear you're doing all right. Me too. Me too. Can't complain about a good night of basketball. You know what I mean? Chiefs, where you from? How late is it? It's 11 o'clock where I'm at, or about to be 11 o'clock. So I appreciate you joining this hour. About to be midnight for you. Okay, so you're Central Time. Are you in Kansas City? Are you in Missouri? That area? Is that why you got a Chiefs page here? That's cool either way. Couple championships. Good time to be a Chiefs fan. That's what's up. Repeat. Repeat. I don't know if you've seen those videos from me, but I think it's a very, very good chance. Very good chance that this could happen. So like I said, it's a good time to be a Chiefs fan. And we got a second person, so that's cool. I don't know who you are yet, second person, but I appreciate you joining in this hour. You're in Texas. Okay, cool, man. Cool, cool. What made you a Chiefs fan? Are you a Mavs or Spurs or Rockets? We're gonna be talking about those Rockets just here in a second. So maybe you're a big Rockets fan. I'll have to keep that in mind before I start talking about them. But either way, we are just gonna get right into it. Okay, the 76ers. Oh, you're a Warriors fan. Okay, perfect. Perfect. We're going to be talking about the Warriors. Talking good about the Warriors tonight. But let's start at the top. Let's hop into this NBA discussion. We've got the 76ers and the Heat. They were doing battle. I'm not going to lie. The only game I actually watched all the way through was this last game, the Nuggets and Clippers, which was an absolute fun one. Of course, it was a buzzer beater. Actually, you know what? We're going to start with the Nuggets and Clippers because that is the game I watched all the way through. It's fresh on my mind right now. It just wrapped up just before I hit live here. So it's fresh on the mind. We got to talk about it. It was a great game on TNT, national television. And it's two of those powerhouses in the Western Conference, right? It's two teams that you should be keeping your eye on. It's two teams to get really excited about this playoff time. And neither one of them were at full strength, which is unfortunate, right? Especially as we are super close to the end of the regular season and getting close to that playoff push where the Nuggets they're fighting for a first seed. The Clippers, they're trying to avoid, being a sixth seed or even that dangerous play-in. So everything's so close together right now. Right now, sitting at the 4 seed, I do believe. Actually, I don't know what the result of tonight's game puts them. Yeah. So right now, the Clippers are sitting at a 4 seed, which would make them host to the Dallas Mavericks if the playoffs started today. And that's dangerous, man. The Dallas Mavericks are playing some really good ball right now, but they want to keep that 4 seed so they can at least keep that home court advantage, which we know is huge. If you listen to Podcast P, then you know that this is a big push for the Clippers, and it is a big momentum thing to get that home court advantage. Chiefs, you don't watch the NBA. That's unfortunate, man. It's a great sport. I love watching the games. It keeps me up all night, but it's worth it. It's a lot of entertainment. But the Warriors are in the play-in as of right now. They're a 42-34 record, which is good enough for 10th. So they're the very last one in the play-in, which is dangerous. Dangerous territory to be in. It's really got a little sketchy, a little scary the past couple weeks as the Rockets have been surging. Jalen Green has been playing absolutely out of his mind. Great basketball, but the Warriors are doing their thing. So let's hop to them since you're here. We got to show you some love. We got to show the Warriors fans what's up. So the Rockets, they've been, out of the play-in for the whole time, but they're trying to get in. But if they get in, then it pushes your Warriors out, bro. And that can, we want to see Steph Curry. We want to see Klay Thompson. We want to see Draymond Green in the playoffs. It's not really the playoffs without those guys. You can't even imagine a playoffs without the Warriors. But they're sitting on that fence right now. And tonight they matched up. Tari Eason for the Rockets has been injured, and he's been talking mad crap as the Rockets have been surging. As I said, Jalen Green playing out of his mind right now. Dude, Easton, I appreciate you joining. I'm doing good. How are you, man? I appreciate you joining this late hour. We're just talking about some Warriors right now for my other boy Chiefs in this stream. Big Warriors fan, doesn't watch much, but yes, the Warriors and Rockets fighting for that last play-in spot, and they match up, and Warriors handle business. Like locked in. Tari Eason, as I said, for the Rockets has been talking mad crap, even though he's been injured. And tonight he wears a shirt on the bench that says in red, Warriors come out to play, or Warriors come out to fight, or Warriors, I don't know, man. But it was something stupid. He was obviously trying to take a shot at the Warriors. And we know Steph Curry. We know Draymond Green. We know Klay Thompson. When they're pissed off, oh, they're locked in, brother. And when they're locked in, ain't nobody can stop them. Nobody can guard them. Steph Curry is one of the most unguardable players when he is in his zone. And he was in his zone. This was ridiculous. Some of the highlights, if you haven't seen any of the highlights, at least go watch those. Because, man, Steph was hitting some crazy contested threes. He led the way with 29 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. But, yeah, they win the game 133-110. So a 23-point victory after they've been surging. I think this pretty much puts wraps on the Rockets' playing chances. I think it pretty much seals the deal for your Warriors. They're looking good. They are looking good. But Jabari Smith had himself a game with 24 points. Let's see what Jalen Green did tonight. Because like I said, he's been hooping for the Rockets, but I think this loss just kind of does him in. He played 30 minutes, shot 4 of 12, so not great. 3 of 8 from 3 with 13 points. 7 assists to go with it, though, so not bad, but not great. Oh, man. Yeah, this is a tough look. This is wraps. What do you guys think? I mean, like I said, this is Raps. The Warriors are just going to win this. They're going to be at top of that, or they're going to be in above the play-in. They're going to be in that play-in, which is still not a great place to be in, not where we expected Steph Curry to be. But yeah, they're going to be there. They're going to be there. And they're going to have to match up and play in a play-in tournament, which is scary because in that 10 spot, you play the 9 game, and the winner moves on and has to win another game. So the Warriors are going to, right now, as it stands, match up with the Lakers. Did that one rookie on the Rockets do good? I'm pretty sure he's been playing well. I'm figuring, I don't know if you're talking about Cam Whitmore or Amen Thompson. Both of them have been looking pretty good as of late. But let's go look at his stats, and I can tell you exactly what they did. Let's see, I was just there. So Amen Thompson had, in 30 minutes, went 3 for 7, didn't put up a 3. He had, no, I mean, he did okay. He did 8 points on 7 shots. Not horrible. 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Amen Thompson, he's one of those guys that he contributes more than what the stats show. You know what I mean? Like, he is a much better basketball player than what the box score shows because he's a great defender. He really is. He's honestly, outside of Wemby, he might be the best defensive rookie, I think. Unless you count Chet Holmgren as well, then Chet's probably number 2. But outside of Wemby, I think Amen Thompson is the best. Yeah, and he has lived up to the hype. I mean, he's got a little bit of a slow start, but it's hard because the Rockets have so many young guys that it's hard for him to get minutes consistently. He's finally breaking into that. He's finally getting a lot of minutes each and every night. Like I said, tonight he played 30 minutes, so that's great. And so yeah, I'd say he's lived up to the hype. Let's check out his last few games. Why not? Why not? We're here. We can do what we want. So let's see. So their last game they played the Timberwolves. He had 9 points in 25 minutes, shooting 44%. Against the Mavericks on Sunday, he had 8 points. But before that, he was on a streak, it looks like. Yeah, against the Utah Jazz in a 1-point victory. I think it was an overtime game. But he had, let's see. Where is it? Oh, I'm looking. They played the Jazz twice recently. With 14 boards, he had 18 points and 5 assists, 1 block, 2 steals. Good for him. And then the game before against the OKC Thunder in overtime, he has 25, 15 rebounds, 4 assists. Yeah, no, he's played great. Let's see, he's averaging 9 points per game, is what you're looking at. 9 points, 6 rebounds, 2.5 assists on 50% field goal percentage. So that's really, really good. But again, that 9 points per game is going to be very much hindered because at the beginning of the season, I mean, let's look. In October, no, he didn't even play in October. In November, he averaged 7 points you're right. In October, he did play. In October, he averaged 7 points. He only played 1 game in November, which he scored 4 points in. The whole month of December, he only had 3.5 points. So that is, yeah, he's much improved since March. He's been averaging double digits every single month. So that is, yeah, he's living up to the hype. He's getting better. His rebounds are coming up as well. And that's really what's exciting about Amen Thompson is he's a two-way player. He does the scrappy things. Easton says, do you mind giving us a rundown on the Kings game? Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me go back to the stats. It was not what I expected, honestly. Because of what has been going on with the New York Knicks, they've had a lot of injuries. We found out today that Julius Randle is done for the year, having season-ending surgery after trying to rehab his shoulder for the past 2 months. They just cut it out and said, no, he's done. Shut him down. So I thought the Kings, who have been playing really good basketball as of late, had this in the bag. But no, a 120-109 victory for the New York Knicks. You know, it wasn't not what anybody expected. Sacramento was up early. They had a 15-point lead to end the first quarter. They did their thing okay in the second quarter, but it was all bad in the second half. Getting outscored, let's see, 68-49. in the second half. So definitely not their game, not Sir Clutch's best game, though he did have 29 points. Again, most of those coming early in the first half. Domas had his 17 points and 11 rebounds. Didn't get his triple double, only 7 assists, so he falls short there. But it was. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard for me to understand the Sacramento Kings because they can fill up the stat sheet, they can play great defense, they can shoot the ball really well, and still find a way to lose. And that's no further example than this right here. The Kings should not be losing to the New York Knicks, especially by 11. I mean, the Knicks did play really well. Jalen Brunson with 35 points. Josh Hart had 30 points, and Dante DiVincenzo had 21. So that Villanova boys got after it. And I mean, you're not going to win many games when you give up 3 scores over 20 points and 2 of them over 30. But, I mean, again, they had no OG Anunoby, no Julius Randle. Mitchell Robinson is still getting limited minutes. It's hard. It's hard to see. Easton, are you a big Kings fan? Because if so, this one stings. This one hurts a little bit. But they'll bounce back. I think they'll be okay. Let's see what their remaining schedule looks like. I'm keeping too close of an eye on the Kings, but I do want to now because they are going to be in that play-in. It looks like they've been okay. They were playing some good ball, but they're really not. Never mind. I thought they have been playing really well. They've been sitting around 500. Hey, Chiefs, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for hopping on. You have a good night as well. I appreciate it. But let's go back to these Kings. After tonight's loss, they're about 500 in this past month and a half. It seems like every time they win 2 games, they lose 2 games. So that isn't what you're looking for in an end of season playoff push. Obviously, you need to win some more of these games. 2 losses to the Mavericks back to back just before this, but they did beat the Clippers, who have been struggling. The Clippers have been struggling themselves. So until tonight, right? We'll get to that game again. I'll probably hit more on that since Chiefs was the only one there. The Kings lost to the Knicks not too long ago as well. They lost to the Wizards, dude. Oh, man, they had a good streak going where they beat the Grizzlies, Raptors, Magics, and Sixers, but fell in the middle of that to the Wizards, 98-91. So the Kings are just super streaky, super inconsistent. They can beat any team any given night because some of their past wins are the Clippers, Sixers, though Joel Embiid wasn't back, Lakers, Bucks, Lakers again, Timberwolves, Nuggets not too long ago, and the Clippers again. Actually, they beat the Nuggets twice. So yeah, it's just so hard to see. It's so hard to watch these Kings because, again, they're beating some great teams, but they're losing to a lot of bad teams in here as well. I mean, I mentioned the Wizards. They lost to the Rockets. They lost to the Bulls. There's some good losses in here as well. The Suns, the Thunder, the Nuggets, the Heat. But they're a good team. But I feel like once they start going on a win, something always goes wrong, and it does, which is weird because it's not like they have crazy injuries, right? They've been relatively healthy this season. Domas has missed some games here and there. Fox missed a lot of games at the beginning of the season, but since then has been relatively healthy. So it's hard to say. It's hard to know what's going wrong with the Sacramento Kings, but it's okay. They're gonna play in the play-in. They've got to end their season. They have the Celtics, Nets, Thunder, Pelicans, Suns, and Blazers. So like 3 hard games, 3 not so bad games. Or let's see, is that how math works? That is how math works. They have 6 games left, 3 easier games, 3 harder games, and you got to take it. You got to take it. A couple national television games. I actually just the one against the Pelicans, which will be a big one, considering the standings involved with the play-in, because the Pelicans have now been slipping down to that position as well. Let's take a look. Yeah, the Pelicans are the 7th seed, where the Kings are the 8th seed. So right now, if the season were to end today, they would match up in a one-game play-in. Winner goes to the playoffs and gets that 7th seed, who would go up against the Denver Nuggets as of right now. But the Denver Nuggets, Oklahoma City Thunder, and Minnesota Timberwolves have all been so close together, so you don't really know if you'd end up with which one of those teams. But obviously, you want to get that 7th seed. Ideally, for the Pelicans and the Kings and the Lakers, it is realistic that either of the Mavericks or the Suns falter. And so hopefully you can snag one of those last playoff spots instead of just play in. You could get that 5 or 6 seed. Right now, the Suns are tied with the Pelicans, and the Kings are one game behind the Pelicans and the Suns. So, yeah, it should be a good, easy game, a good matchup. I like how the Kings fit around matching up with the Pelicans, especially how the Kings are so defensive minded, which is something that's so underrated and I love. And but again, they're gonna have to win a few more games. Let's see what the Pelicans have. Because again, you have the Celtics, who you're not sure if you're going to win. We don't know how hard the Celtics are going to go because they've already locked up the number 1 seed for the whole NBA. The Nets, he'll probably beat the Thunder. They're in a battle for number 1, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams, their best 2 players, have been out as of late. So if those guys are still out, then you should have no problem with the Thunder. If they're not, then the Thunder will give you a good battle. And then you have the Suns as well. So they're also going to be battling to avoid that play-in spot. So let's see. Let's check out the Pelicans. What do they have left? They've got the Spurs tomorrow, the Suns, the Trailblazers, of course, you guys. And that game is in Sacramento, so that's huge for you. Then they have the Warriors and Lakers. So the Pelicans, I think it's pretty safe to say that the Pelicans are going to be in the play-in. They're not going to get the playoff spot. And so of course, you want to beat them. And of course, if you do play them in that 7-8 game, you want to be the home court team. You want to be the home court advantage. You want to be in your house. You want to light the beam at the end of the day. So I think that's very realistic as long as you can beat the Pelicans in your matchup with them. And then I also want to look at the Suns' remaining games because they could easily drop as well. And maybe you can avoid the play-in altogether, which would be nice. They have the Timberwolves, the Pelicans, the Clippers twice, the Kings, and the Timberwolves. So it is very realistic that the Suns miss and are in the play-in. And so you could easily jump that. Isha says, hey, this is a little bit out of the conversation, but have you been watching baseball lately? Or are you just a big basketball fan? So I am a big baseball guy. Well, let me correct myself. Not a big baseball guy. I mean, I got myself a little Ken Griffey hat right now. I'm a big Cardinals fan. Of course, you got to wear the Ken Griffey hat backwards. You know what I mean? I'm a big St. Louis Cardinals fan. I've been to a few of their games. I watched them, but I'm not like, I don't watch every single team like I do in the NBA or the NFL. Like, if it's NFL season or if it's NBA season, I'm watching sports every single day, and I'm watching as many games as I possibly can. I don't do that so much with baseball. I would like to. I would like to get into baseball a little bit more, but right now it's just I watch the Cardinals here and there, and honestly, I haven't watched a full game of theirs so far this season. I've watched a couple of their matchups with the Dodgers and the Padres, mostly catching highlights. But I wish I was more into baseball. I do need to get there. But yeah, big Cardinals fan. I've actually liked baseball a lot longer than I've liked basketball. So that's weird. I was in playing days. Baseball was by far my best sport. So you'd think I'd watch more baseball, but I don't know. I just don't sit still too well. I'm glad they added the pitch clock. I'm glad they sped the game up a lot. And again, I do want to get more into it, but I only know the Cardinals. I don't know anybody. I don't know. I know the star players. Right. I know your Bryce Harpers, your Mike Trouts, your Shohei Otanis, your Mookie Betts. I know your star pitchers, but I don't know, who the first baseman is for the Giants right now. Like, I wish I did, but I don't. Whereas the NBA, I can tell you who the center is for who the starting center is, at least for any NBA team. Oh, big Dodgers fan. Okay, so you got off to a hot start. You made me really doubt my season right off the rip. That first opening day, when you guys, what, 7-1, 7-0? Gosh, yeah, you were making me debate if I even wanted to watch baseball this year. I hate the Dodgers, man. I hate the Dodgers. You guys always have the best roster, but can never put it together. You got one championship. That's it. That's it. Come on now. And we always have a good rivalry in the playoffs. We haven't just made the playoffs recently, which hurts, man. Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, I need to get more into baseball, but definitely more of a basketball guy. Let's see. I don't even know if the Cardinals played today. I think they might be having an off day today. I don't know. I gotta check now. I gotta check. Let's see. My ESPN is being slow. Oh, we did play. Oh yeah. I do remember the Cardinals. We beat the Marlins. We didn't whoop them, but the Marlins are horrible, so that wasn't anything to get too excited about. Okay, going back to the NBA, because that is what I know how to talk about. So we'll do that. Let's hit on this Nuggets Clippers game, man. Unless you got any other questions, I'm here for it. You should fill up the chat if you want to. I'll answer your questions all day long. But if there's nothing else, I'm gonna go into basketball, and feel free to derail me, man. No, please take me off track. That's what I'm here for. I just love talking sports. So if you have a question, put it in the comments, and I'll answer it. And I might even ask you a question back. So be ready. Be ready. But for now, to stay on track of what I did have, the Nuggets Clippers, I mentioned it a little bit, but I want to go back to it. Monster game for Nikola Jokic. Came down to the buzzer. Just a fun basketball game. It was something to get excited about because it is two of the Western Conference elites right now. Clippers sitting at that 4 seed. Nuggets after tonight are sitting in the 2 seed. A win would have bumped them over the over the Timberwolves again, but they have a matchup with the Timberwolves later in this season, in this week, I think, to make sure that they can have a chance at the number 1 seed at least. But it was still a great game. It was off to the races for the Denver Nuggets. They were up 11 early, and that was because of or at the end of the first quarter, they were up 11, but they were up by, I want to say 18, 19 for a minute there in the first quarter. It was like 20-4, I think. And then the Clippers got going at the end of the first quarter, had themselves a great second quarter. Paul George, James Harden going nuts in the second quarter. Mostly James Harden had a couple step back threes. He just was missing early in the first quarter. But in the second quarter, he started hitting those. They played great defense, got a lot of turnovers, holding the Nuggets to only an 18-point quarter, which is really, really good for them. But it was the turnovers. It was Nikola Jokic was not in most of the second quarter, and so it was easy for the Clippers to pick the ball and just run in transition and make the baskets easily to have a great lead going into or to have a lead going into the halftime, which was just it was cool because I thought this was a game that was just going to be far away from even fun to watch. But no, it was enjoyable. A great game all the way to the buzzer, all the way to the buzzer because the third quarter was pretty evenly matched. In the third quarter, Paul George started to go off. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope started going off, but mostly Michael Porter Jr. He had himself a great first quarter. He had himself a solid third quarter. Nikola Jokic started getting more involved as well. The Clippers tried throwing a PJ Tucker on Jokic, and it worked. I mean, the announcers were hyping it up way more than it was actually working. Because if you just check the bottom stat line, you see Nikola Jokic has 36 points, 17 rebounds, and 10 assists. I don't know about you, but in my mind, that is a monster game. A 36, 17, and 10? Are you kidding me? And I don't know the shooting splits on that, but Jokic is always efficient. 14 of 24. Yeah. 3 of 8 from 3 isn't his greatest, but 14 of 24 from the field, 5 of 6 from the line. You have 17 rebounds. I mean, only one of those is offensive, but it's Jokic. Come on now. and 10 assists. We know what he does. He by himself was a plus 12. Other guys, not so much. Reggie Jackson being that guy. Minus 14 for Reggie, minus 10 for DeAndre Jordan. But DeAndre Jordan only had 5 minutes, whereas Reggie Jackson had 22. So great game for Jokic, but just not enough. Aaron Gordon did his role, except the fact that he was 0 for 2 from 3 and 8 for 14 from the line. We need him to be a little bit more efficient because that is the guy that we're going to go after. If the Nuggets are up, and it's a free throw battle, yeah, yeah, yeah. So Michael Porter Jr. he had a great game, man. He had 14 points, 6 of 18. Okay, not as great as I thought it was. Yeah, 14 points, 2 turnovers, 1 block, 1 assist, 9 rebounds. Yeah, 2 of 10 from 3-point land. He had a really good first quarter. I do remember that. And he had a couple big timely shots in the third. But yeah, 6 of 18 is not as good. It's not Michael Porter Jr. good. It's not, and 2 of 10 obviously isn't. That's not good by any standards, let alone, I mean, that's 20%, right? So that's not what you want, especially from Michael Porter Jr., who has an elite jump shot, who all he does is jump shots. He did get himself an assist today, though. That's new for him. But he did decently well. He also played some really good defense at times on Paul George, so that was big. The big story of this game, though, is the bench. The Denver Nuggets bench has a total of 9 points, and 7 of those are Christian Braun, who might as well have been a starter because he had 34 points, or 34 minutes. Sorry, 34 minutes, where Reggie Jackson only had 22 in the starting lineup, but he had 7. Yeah, yeah. The bench of the Clippers is 23, 25, 34. 34 bench points for the Clippers compared to 9 for the Denver Nuggets. That's horrible. That's horrible. Again, we mentioned Jokic's monster game, but and a plus 12 for him, but the bench, almost every one of them was negative. The Reggie Jackson, who I consider more of a bench player, negative 14. Michael Porter Jr. did have a negative 3 in the plus minus, negative 9 for Peyton Watson, negative 5 for Holiday, and negative 10 for DeAndre Jordan. A plus 7 for Christian Braun. And then on the flip side, like I said, for the Clippers, their starters were mostly negative. James Harden's the only one who had a positive plus minus. Paul George, minus 11. PJ Tucker, minus 12. Again, they were raving about how good his defense was. 36 points, 10 assists. That's not great. That is not great. But 28 for Paul George, but a minus 14. So you got to take the plus minus into account as much as you will. That's what tells me who won this game, though, is when I see Amir Coffey off the bench at a plus 18. Norman Powell, who almost is always positive, has a plus 10. Russell Westbrook has a plus 8 and plus 7 for Plumlee. I'm forgetting his name. Is it Miles? It's Miles. Miles Plumlee. Mason Plumlee. Gosh, that was embarrassing. But yeah, the starters are all negative for the Clippers. So they're reverse. Obviously, we could tell in this 2-point differential, the bench is the difference. A 9 to 22 bench differential in a 2-point game. That's crazy. That's so crazy. So this really points the holes in the Denver Nuggets. I've just made a video not too long ago. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. About the Denver Nuggets, how I thought they were streaking. They were really hot. They're playing really good basketball. They're being really efficient on offense, and they're beating some of the best teams. Well, we got to take a deeper look into their bench because this is not it. This is not good. Easton, man, I appreciate it. The next time, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I do want to. This is more of a test run. I'm definitely going to do this again. I appreciate you making it enjoyable for me. It kind of depends on what my life looks like. I don't know. I kind of live day to day. But let's see what kind of games are going on tomorrow. I'm just really excited about this NBA playoff push. My Thunder play the Pacers. Clippers play again. You might see me tomorrow. you might see me tomorrow if I got some time at the end of the day, because I'd love to talk about the Timberwolves Sun game. I'd like to talk about this Mavs Warriors game, Pelican Spurs, excuse me, Heat Rockets, Celtics Kings. I might be talking about that for you. So, yeah, maybe tomorrow night if I can find some time. I'd appreciate it if you could join, because I appreciate all your questions, the sports conversations. That's what I'm here about, man. That's what I'm here for. So I appreciate it. Easton, you have yourself a good night, and I hope to see you very soon. Thank you for joining, and these will be more regular. I promise you that. I promise you. Yes, yes. Turn on the notifications, subscribe. I love it, dude. I love it. God bless, brother. Thank you so much. Man, what a day. What a day. A good live stream. I appreciate it. Even if it is just a couple people, that's what I'm here for. Just a good sports conversation to wrap up the day. There's really nothing better. I love talking sports, so I love seeing some comments. Easton carried us. Chief started us off, man. Um, I see there's a few of you in here still, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'd appreciate some comments. I'd already talked about the Nuggets Clippers. Big games from Paul George, Nikola Jokic. The game-ending defense by PJ Tucker puts up a tough shot for Nikola Jokic. David Adelman, I will say, he took over because Michael Malone was tossed. He was ejected from this game, and it's tough. It was not the greatest officiating. I'll say that, and that wasn't just at the end of the game. It was throughout the whole game. It was a tough watch at times because the officiating was so bad, but it really was bad for both teams. So I don't think there's one way you could say it goes this way or that way. But David Adelman stepped in for Michael Malone, and David Adelman's name got thrown out today as part of a search for the Charlotte Hornets. They're trying to find themselves a new head coach, and David Adelman. Honestly, I'd be very surprised if David Adelman is not one of the coaches hired for